Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nopon. I would like to share with you today in the afternoon session in the area of the smart city fundamental in three major categories. Because I wear three hats at the moment. The first one is on because myself I'm a researcher. I'm based on the Thammasat University. And the second hat that I'm wearing is on the IEEE, the Power and Energy Society. I'm the vice chair of the IEEE Power and Energy Society that we also host some conference on the smart city before, so we have some kind of standard and best practice to share. And the third hat I'm wearing is on the managerial position as the vice president of the Thailand Research and Innovation, where we do some budget allocation. We provide money, actually, to develop the research to the stakeholders. So maybe we can share with you on some three categories that we can link, how we can link the technical side, standard side, and funding collaboration side together. We talk about that today, right? So when you talk about the fundamental element of the smart city, when you talk about smart city, of course you need a city. When you talk about a city, you need a citizen, you need people, you need society, right? But on the ICT side, right, they got the hardware and software. When you look at the three quadrants above, on the above side, it's on the hardware side. On the left-hand side, it's on the physical building, physical city. Right? On the right-hand side is a kind of a hardware on the ICT side. On the below, right, the quadrants is on the society and on the software. So there is a need to be sure that a city need to have people, need to have government, need to have some kind of a smart device and the software that we can control and we can keep the data alive, and we can make use of that technology to make the people become have the better quality of life and economic and social sustainability themes, right? When we build the box of that four block together, we see that on the right-hand side, we need infrastructure, citizen, and the data to compose a smart city. But on the social side, we plug in more on the economics and the environment to be sure that all of these three blocks become sustainable. Right. When we look at the views of the human-machine interface, right? When you talk about the hardware, software, building, and the citizen, right? Citizen is a human. So on this way, we have the link between the government and the citizens through, some kind of the platform. On the platform, it can be like infrastructure to be sure that the people or the citizens can have the better service, right? So on this view, we can see that on the infrastructure, there are three major infrastructure to be focused. The first one is on the transportation. The second one is on the energy and the municipal infrastructure, including the wastewater and lighting system on the municipal arena. When we divided the three infrastructure into three systems, of course, on the municipal infrastructure, they got like a wastewater management system, public safety, street lighting system. And for the transportation side, measuring on the traffic management and the public transportation and the energy, we have the electric power system, natural gas, and the heat system depend on the location of the world. Because in Thailand, we don't really need, the heat system. For the smart city solution that we use to monitor the urban infrastructure, in terms of objective, we need to be sure that we would reach the maximization of the economic, social, and environmental sustainability. And by utilizing all kind of technology and social innovation and the design of the smart city management to control, to make use of the three major infrastructure as we mentioned. And on the career side, and because we talk about smart city, we need communication, right? We need the IoT, we need some kind of devices, we need sensor, right? There are 3 layers that we need to be sure that we need to prepare the better infrastructure in terms of the career of the wire or wireless system, right? So most of the country invest a lot on these things through the private investment and public-private investment cooperation. All right. When we talk about the smart city, one thing that we need to be sure that most of the devices that can be used together, we call interoperability. We need to be sure that the devices produced by many manufacturers from many countries need to have the acceptable standard, right? When they come to use at the same system, right? IEEE is one of the world's largest professional society engineering to focus on the advanced technology for humanity. So we have a lot of publication, technology, and standard. And we have a lot of members throughout the world. So IEEE gathering many societies that involved with the smart city together to form the smart city community. And we set many interesting initiatives regarding the smart city and using a lot of cities around the world as a best practice area, a best practice town. We have many conferences throughout every year. Last year, Thailand hosted the 10th smart city, IEEE smart city in Pattaya. And many of the city come to submit the contest of their best practice into the IEEE Smart City Conference, right? Most of the initiative will move, right, to become a standard setting, right? In terms of the technical side, when we design something, right, in the system, we need to be sure that they will comply with the standard to ensure the interoperability together in many areas. All right, that is the thing that you may think about infrastructure. The keyword that I just presented on the infrastructure. Infrastructure needs money, right? Needs investment. When we would like to develop the country to become the smarter city, right? We need to be sure that at least 3 major infrastructures need to be developed. The energy infrastructure, right? Transportation, and municipal. For 3 major areas, we need to, the government alone, in some countries, cannot really afford this one. We can do some funding, we can do some research and technology, we can do some development with a limited of the budget. But we need collaboration. So in Thailand, we have some kind of reform on the higher education in 5 years ago. Actually, on the higher education is under the Ministry of Education before. But we pull out the higher education to merge with the Ministry of the Science and Technology. And we gathering all the funding resources that hold by many government agencies, right, into one single fund, right? We call the TSRI fund, the Thailand Science Research and Innovation Fund, right? So we have the money from the government, from the parliament, inject into this fund about maybe 20,000 million baht a year, right? In order to support science, research, and innovation, right, throughout the country. We provide money to about 200 of universities, including some kind of government agency as well, at the same level as the university. And also create a kind of PMU, we call the Program Management Unit. So this structure will tell you the chain from the policy to the operational level. So I myself work at the Thailand Research and Innovation, where it's the Secretariat of the Science Research and Innovation Promotion Fund, right? So this one is the policy deployment and the budget allocation. We allocate budget of funding to the Program Management Unit. There are 9 PMU across the regions. 9 PMU, we are designed that each PMU to match with the specific area of the research and innovation. For example, like PMU-A is a program management unit that look that focus in the area base, right? PMU-B is on the brain power, that focus on the human resources, and PMU-C focus on the competitiveness on the economic side. For example, like NVI, because this is the national vaccine, right? It's institutes, so some kind of specific area. And NIA is a national innovation agency that focus on the promotion of the incubation of the spin-off business like a startup, and we support the research in the TRL in the higher level. Like TRL means technology readiness level. So we design 9 PMU to serve all the TRL 1 until TRL 9, right? And after that, we need some kind of private sector or industry to join us at the matching fund, right? So for this budget, let's say we have about 20,000 million baht. So which is not enough. So therefore, we design our budget into two categories. The first one is on the R&I. The R&I, we divide it into two subcategories. One is we inject directly to the university, right, at the block grant. So we provide each university in some portion of the money in order to be sure that university will use it money under their expertise. Because our university, we have many categories of university. Some university are the advanced research university. Some of the university is a kind of industrialized, like a vocational in terms of practical university. So we allocate money for the university based on their expertise or on their mission. On the second one, we design our fund to develop the infrastructure in terms of science technology development fund. So this one we put onto the laboratory, to the major infrastructure portion, to be sure that this infrastructure can be used amongst many users or even many universities together that we can share. Even the industry can be make use of this kind of infrastructure. So this portion of the infrastructure is only about 20%, which is not many, and funding that through the research and innovation is about maybe about 75% of the total budget, and we allocate about 50% to the research utilization, RU. For the research utilization, this budget will support some of the research that will have the potential to develop to be a commercialized product or to be used in the society or community. So in such case, each year, so we support and allocate the budget based on three major strategies. The first one is on development of the Thai economy. The second one is on the society and environment. So maybe in terms of smart city, maybe the S1, the strategic 1 and strategic 2, it can be very hitting to the point of the smart city development fund. The third one, I mean on the quadrant on the left, bottom left, is on the research frontier research, and on the strategy 4 is on the manpower and brain power development area. So most of the smart city, the budget will inject into the strategic 1 and 2, mostly, yeah. And this is the 15th flagship program that we focus on, right? So when you see this one, most of the smart city components are here, right? Based on what are you focusing on, right? Some focus on carbon neutrality, maybe some focus on the aging society or electric vehicle. Many areas are here actually on the 15th flagship program. So if you are expert in the transportation, maybe you can write a proposal with us on the transportation sector. For example, like the railway, electric vehicle, energy storage, something like that. And we also have the program so-called the Global Partnership Program. So we we believe that our budget from the direct budget from the government is not enough, is not sufficient. So we need some kind of collaboration from the private sector or from the demand side, or from some sector that believe that had the belief the same belief with us, to be sure that the country can be developed based on the collaboration amongst the industry, businesses, and university, including the funding from the government side. So the left-hand side is the support from the government in 6 areas. On the right-hand side is the program that we focus on. Mostly we focus on the competitiveness, research excellence, and the environmental and social sustainable development. To move on, the topic that we are talking about today, of course, urban sustainability challenge is one of the flagship area that we support from the government, from this funding too, right? Including some kind of 70% of the global carbon emission from the urban area is one of the target that we need to achieve, right? Cities that face increased flooding, heat wave, drought is one of the pain points that we need to reduce. Science policy partnership crucial for the resilience is one of the area that we need to find out. Okay, and this is the alignment of the Thailand strategy. We have a 5-year plan, right? For the plan, for today's plan, is ranging from the 2023 until 2027. Four strategic plan that align with the 5-year plan is on the strategic on the number 2. We call the environmental integrity and sustainable society focus. And we're having funding mechanism. We have the priority area that we focus on, and we need to achieve the goal that have the impact to the outcome of the national or local level. One of the targets that we need to achieve on the social impact enterprises. So we believe that on the community, people will do their own business. And people need some kind of services, right? So we need to be sure that social impact enterprise can be a key player to the supply chain to upgrade the business, to adopt the process of the improvement capacity of building of the people there, to be sure that they can get the benefit. So we're gathering all the people from the university, finance institution, government staff, and the community network to roll up the social enterprise to run their own business locally. Right? Because in the local people, especially on the agricultural sector, there are a lot of people they have no knowledge or not plenty of knowledge to do their work. We need some of the service provider, for example, that act as a social enterprise to help them to reach the target of the production, include efficiency and make use of the better make a better use of their lands and manage the water. They can have access to the better technology to help the productivities of the agriculture, for example. There are some gaps that we need to fill up because when people would like to do the business in the area, so they don't know what to do, right? We try to find the actor to make the incubation, and we develop some kind of approach to be sure that a kind of social enterprise can do their own business. So some of the area is on the policy, market, standard, technology, resource, and the knowledge learning. So people in the local area have a lack of that kind of element, right? And area connection. So we need to fill up the logistic side. So we need to be sure that they got the logistic connectivities. We need to have the people and governance connectivity, right? Because sometimes they don't know what to do because they don't know the rule. They don't know. That government support them for something. They don't know that they got some kind of promotion that government provide to them, right? They don't know the market. They don't know where to sell the product, right? So we need to fill that kind of gap, including some kind of technology assessment. uh, okay. One of the target that we would like to promote and to support it on the university spin-off. Many universities have the good productivity come from the lab, come from their own research. We provide a lot of money to the university, including some infrastructure, some of the machines, some of the software, including we provide scholarship to the people to study abroad. When we come back, they produce their research paper. Many paper actually in the previous era, they cannot really use that result to become the commercialized, to commercialize and to make use as a utilization product. We would like to focus their research outcome in terms of the RU, the research utilization. We have a law we call the Tri-Up Act. We adopt this act from the Bayh-Dole Act in the United States that we would like to unlock. I mean the IP, the intellectual property that normally hold with the funder, and we unlock the IP to belong to the recipients of the funding, right? Like university or researchers, so they can use the product to sell, right? They can use the product in the industry without locking into the funding agency, right? So we apply that and we support them to spin off their company, set up company and cooperate with the private sector, and then we encourage a university to build up a kind of holding company, right? This is the law that we just unlocked the university. Today in Thailand, the state university can register as a holding company, right? To co-invest with the private sector, right? They can use their product from their lab, right? To spin off with a small company, and they set up another university company, a holding company, to invest in their own a subsidiary company too, right? So the example of the holding company in Thailand, for example, like in Jula Enterprises, Chulalongkorn University has their own holding company right now, and there are about 200 subsidiary companies right now that come from their own faculties. Many of the faculties produce a lot of good products, like faculty of engineering, faculty of the pharmacies, for example. They produce a lot of products sales now pitching at a good startup, and they also have the collaboration with the Industry Council of Thailand as well. We call the FTI, Federal Thailand in Industry. So we also have them provide some kind of policy to matching the fund from Thailand Research Fund with the FTI to support the startup in the industry. So the challenge in the research spin-off, well, it is here, right? It depends on how university and public sector and industry can combine and working together. And the factor of the success, it depends on how understanding and people and capital and people in the environments will be aligned together. It depends on the law regulation, capitals, and the people in that environment too. Okay, this is the social impact enterprise holding. Okay, so this is another project that we are looking forward to in the local area. So we believe that there are many big companies like SCG, PTT, that they would have like a research fund, right, to invest in the local community. So we would like to invite them to join, to set up some kind of the social impact enterprise holding, that we can have the bigger fund, right? And we're going to scout to some kind of the local community to support the money and fund to them. Not only the funding, but we will incubate them too. We are working with the university how to be sure that the local community can be set up as the social enterprise in their own community. And the university will provide knowledge, technology, manpower, and some kind of resources to support them, to be sure that they can work in the marketing environment. And this is another project that we working with the set. I mean the set trade. I mean the stock market of Thailand, right? So CDMF is a market fund development in the set market. So we would like to invite some of the venture capital to gathering the money with us to support the startup in the stock market. This is one of the project that we are looking for, right? We are planning to do that with the CMDF. And the key role of the SRI, right, system in the sustainable urban development is on the setting direction and policy for sustainable city, and integrating the collaborations across all the sectors and support research and innovation funding for the target city. And we would like to dive in deep area-based and community development to be sure that we can develop the human resources and infrastructure to create a positive economic and social impact too. Okay, for this one, this is what we plan. So the TSRI will positioning ourselves as the catalyst for the sustainable city in this context. So we would like to connect many actors across the regions together to be sure that we can create a kind of platform so that the private sector, university and industry to come to work together. Some kind of setting a kind of hub, innovation hub network. Today we have about 76 provincial centers. We have already said it. To synergy and to be sure that we have the synergy and to reduce the boundary. So we set up the intelligent SI system to be sure that we have the efficient, transparent, and collaboration mechanism. And we have the investments as plan to be sure that we can scale up the funding, scale up the startup and the social impact set enterprise to be the better business body. And the last slide on my presentation is on to show you the flagship project example. So this one is the 4 major areas that related to the development of the urban community. Saraburi Sandbox is one of the good example. You can go to see from the website of the Saraburi province. This sandbox will create about 20 organization partnership, right? We work this one with the PMUA, right? The program management unit of the area base, with the SCG. SCG is one of the large company in the stock market. And we have the first industrial low carbon city prototype. So we create a set of the standard or the prototypes how to be sure that we can reduce the carbon dioxide in the city. We have 5 core activities like cleaning energy, green industry, waste, low carbon, agriculture, ecosystem, tourism, for example, right? So these 4 flagship programs will be sure that we can look to the future to make our city become clean and sustainable for the future. And we hope today is one of the good platforms that we gathering many people from many countries. So maybe we can talk about that later. So I, as also at the university's professor as well, still keep in line with the technical side. But on the other hand, I'm looking at the money, look at the funding. Maybe we can find some way to join together, not only on the local people in Thailand, but also many countries like in China, in Japan, and in Australia, in the United States, and in anywhere. In Vietnam too, I saw someone in Vietnam coming here. So we can do some kind of international collaboration among universities, industry, and the research fund, like what I'm doing now, right? Thank you very much. I think we can have some kind of discussion if we have some time, right? Or if we don't have time over here, we can walk around and talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Professor Nophon นะคะก็ we have learned a lot of benefit about innovation and now it is time for question and answer. If anyone have a question, please feel free to ask.
Thank you very much. Very interesting talk. Especially, of course, I'm really very appreciate some future collaborations in terms of research, not only on smart city but also some other. Anyway, but my question is because you are working as a director of this institute. My question is whether your government, for the Thai government, have some new education reform to encourage universities to try to merge something together to respond to your national top level design. So I want to ask you.
Okay, we have the reform 5 years ago. As I said, actually the university actually was under the Ministry of Education, including the level of that under the higher education, right? We believe that for higher education is the culture of the education is different from the primary, secondary school, high school teacher. Our university, we also do research, not only teaching, right? So we need the connectivity with the industry. We need to build the new body of knowledge. We need publication. We need prototype for the business. We need incubation. So university is work closely to the industry, mostly like what you know in China, in Japan too, right? In Thailand, in the past, we lack of that kind of opportunity to connect with the industry. We have a research fund as well. Research fund is also spread throughout the many ministries in not one single, line command that they can plan naturally from the top to the ground. So we don't have the good plan to do that. Today we reform to pull all of the funding to be one single line command, and then we gathering all the science technology with the higher education together with the funding sources.
So I mean, for education program, for example, in existing like engineering or planning field, actually even in Japan, also in China, another kind of thing, it's really because of the programs AI, right, or other new technologies, and the existing program doesn't really fit very well. So in that sense, we need to really change existing education program. So do you also have some education program reform?
Education program
not
reform.
only for funding for research, education. I mean, student education.
Student.
So for the major we need to merge some major together to try to respond to the new development for the future.
Yes.
Some, for example, I mean, maybe you merge, let's say, engineering department with, let's say, medical. Let's say the urban plan maybe merge with those computer science, for example. Education program, education itself, any reform.
Okay.
Not for research.
Okay. Actually, we are two sides. On the funding side, research side, and on the educational side, higher educational side. Today we have some kind of the mobility of each area from one university to the others. We have the cooperation. Yeah, we encourage to design the multidisciplinary curriculum. So yeah, we encourage most universities to do so. For example, like Thammasat University, I believe that they got some kind of multi-interdisciplinary สาวิทยาการใช่ไหม we have this kind of area, and we also reform ourselves at the legislation across the university too. Different university, we have like a credit bank that we can share the credit between universities. So this policy have already launched 2 or 3 years ago. But we need to set up some kind of system to be sure the standard of the credit that we can transfer from one to the other university. So we had that kind of mobility and the flexibility to do so. Yep, we do that. Yep. Thank you for the question. Very interesting. Any question? So if not, we can talk about this later after my talk. Yeah. Thank you very much.